It's June 21st, Friday, 2013. And I'm on my way to work, but I'm making a little detour to the library so that I can return some things. I tried to watch a little bit of Animal Farm, but it's like an old cartoon, and oh my goodness, it's, maybe the story might be interesting, but it's barely watchable and boring a little bit. Anyway, maybe there's a different version of Animal Farm we can find that's not so boring. And then we saw some Doctor Who. Doctor Who. My wife used to be a little bit less enthusiastic about Doctor Who, which is not exactly surprising, although there are some women who like Doctor Who, that's true. But it's grown on her a little bit. And we do watch other stuff too. Not just that. We both like Pride and Prejudice, for example. So some straight men also like pretty flowers, okay? Not just gay men. Okay, just because you like to smell the roses doesn't mean you're gay. So, that's that. Yes, I like the pretty little flower. Yes, I like the pretty little flower. Yes, I like the flower. That song comes from Young Frankenstein, in case you were wondering about that. Yes, I like the pretty little flower. I like the pretty little flower. Yes, I like the flower. The pretty little flower. Okay, enough of the pretty little flower song. Yeah, interesting. Oh, the sun is so sunny. You cannot see my face now. Contrast. Just my mouth. Anyway, about Doctor Who. I think, what was his name? David Tennant? I think he did a better job, maybe, than Matt Smith. The Matt Smith ones are a little bit more, kind of boring and stupid, a little bit. Some of them are okay, though, I guess. I suppose everyone's big favorite was Tom Baker, if you were a Doctor Who fan. I think my first exposure to Doctor Who was when we were on vacation to Washington, D.C. When I was a kid with my parents, and I saw it on their public television station. It was... I can't remember the name of the episode, but it was a Tom Baker one where they were in a space station, and then there were these huge caterpillars things, larvae, inside the capsules for the sleeping passengers at this space station. And then one of the episodes ended with the larvae thing going after somebody, maybe the doctor's companion, or anyway. So I think that was the first Doctor Who I ever saw. But you can look up the episode and find it if you want. Okay. So what else is happening? Oh, my father has dementia pretty bad. And so he pretty much is saying, whenever we meet him now, he says conspiratorial things about my brothers and sisters. So we pretty much lost him. You know, it's kind of a slow death. Maybe not as bad as Alzheimer's, but anyway, just have to be careful of that. So we'll try to help him, but I have one kind of nut job codependent sister who we can't really be around anymore. She's quote-unquote caring for my dad, but she's made it impossible for us to go to where he's living. So that's that. Sometimes when your parents get old enough and they got dementia and your family kind of breaks apart as a result, you know, to some extent, fractures, you just have to kind of take stock of what you've got and move forward. So I've got a fun wife, a fun 10-month-old son, and, you know, a pretty good life, a house, a job. So I got what I got, and it's time to move forward and, you know, when you try to look back and, okay, yeah, I'd like to, you know, take my dad out more, but it's just not possible anymore. Not possible. So, that's that. Unless it's in a care center. Kind of a neutral location. Not where this nut job sister can have leverage over everybody in the family, because, you know, anyway, if you want to visit my father, you have to go through her. But anyway, it's a bad situation. So sometimes you have to set boundaries and say, okay, you know, well, if you're going to be that way, then we're just going to have to say, okay, if he's in a care center, then we can visit him. Otherwise, nope. Otherwise, nope, that's it. Sorry. You're not going to have control over me, you crazy nut job, codependent person, you. And I know what codependence is like, okay? I lived at home for a number of years, and I escaped, thank goodness. Pulled myself up by my bootstraps to some extent, but other people helped me. It's not just the social Darwinistic Ayn Rand bullshit. It's true, other people helped me. So, you know, nobody just pulls themselves up completely by their bootstraps. You stand on the shoulders of your parents and your ancestors and stuff, and your education, your opportunities, and luck. So that's how it is for everybody, not just me, okay? Just have to realize what the foundation is of your ability to succeed. So that's that. And what else? goodness. A bus is doing a very bad thing, driving across the median. Danger. Strange. Wow. You don't normally see a big, huge bus doing something like that. So we're kind of trying to decide whether we want to go to Portland again this summer or go to California for Thanksgiving. And I'm a little bit leaning toward the Thanksgiving option, because the Portland is kind of short notice and it costs, a lot of money to fly there, short notice, and so on. And if we wait for the California option, our son will be older and maybe he'll be able to walk, and it might make it a little bit easier on us. So I like Portland, especially during the summer. Maybe we can still do a weekend visit. So that's that. But in Portland, I did have quite an Alice in Wonderland type experience, It was like exploring the place. And one of the reasons why I moved to the place was because I first went and checked it out and went to this kind of crazy party. Saw things that, you don't really... It was a party that would not really be doable in Utah. And I saw some very interesting things at this party in Portland. Very interesting. Some things a little bit strange, some things interesting and special, some things interesting and strange, and just kind of exploring, the edges of, cultural, social liberalness that you couldn't really be exposed to in Utah. And then after seeing what happened to that party, I went back and decided, hey, I'm going to move to Portland. Oh, that'll be fun. But then the lack of sun got to me, and so I had to escape. So after a year and a half, the lack of sun during the spring, winter, and fall, it impacted me so much that I just had to leave, okay? Even though I generally like the culture of Portland, but the lack of sun made it impossible for me to continue to stay there. But there is a very nice atheist community there. Beaverton Atheists got converted into the Center for Inquiry, Portland. Center for Inquiry is kind of a secular advocacy group that includes atheists, agnostics, just general advocates for secularism and for not embracing wacky woo-woo. And the only difference between an atheist and an agnostic really is an agnostic doesn't want to admit they're an atheist even though they are. That's essentially the only difference. Same with atheists and humanists for the most part. So, but I think being able to use the term atheist shows that you basically have more balls. You have enough balls to actually say what the truth is. It's your level of intestinal fortitude to speak the truth. And to some extent, if you had a very deep exposure to conservative religion, then you left, that kind of gives you more gumption to say, yeah, let's call a spade and not tiptoe around with the wacky woo-woo bullshit. And not all paths are equally valid. Not everything is equal. So that's why I'm happy to say, yeah, I'm an atheist and an anti-theist and a wacky woo-woo anti-person. There's no problem in saying what you're against, because it's part of who you're for. I am for atheism. I am for anti-theism. I am for fighting against oppression. And that also means I'm for people being happy. People embracing naturalism, the naturalistic point of view. And it does not mean I'm a social Darwinist. No, it does not mean that. Okay, maybe some humans have a genetic disposition to be social Darwinistic. For example, the sociopaths among us. But we have to fight against the sociopaths and even the people who are genetically predisposed to be like sociopaths, like your average Republican. Okay? That's sociopath light. So, but on the same token, let me say that you have to be careful of the lefties too. You got to be careful of both sides. The lefties and the righties, okay? The lefties can say stupid things also. So, if you're curious about that, you can read my blog. Okay, enough of the morning talk. Time to go to work once again.